everyone, this is Anisha Ansari from ITH PCMC studying in 10th standard. Welcome to the 4th episode of Changemakers, a podcast project by the Student Council of ITH PCMC. Today we will be hosting Mukta Didi from SWaCH organization, a group that works for creating awareness around waste segregation and waste recycling. Student leaders Aditya, Rishu and Yash will be hosting Mukta Didi for today.
इनके अंडर होता है, इनको हम प्रभाग कोऑर्डिनेटर बोलते हैं, जो इस एरिया की पूरा सुपरवाइजिंग करते हैं। इनके अंडर कितने वेस्ट पीपल हैं? 14। अभी ये हर सोसाइटी से जाके कचरा लेके आते हैं। इस जगह को हम फीडर पॉइंट बोलते हैं। फीडर पॉइंट पे कचरा जमा होता है। जो भी हम कचरा लैंडफिल के लिए या फिर पीएमसी को हैंड ओवर करते हैं, जो सेकेंडरी सिस्टम है जो पीएमसी की है, तो वो उनको गाड़ी बुलाना, पूरा कचरा गया है कि नहीं, वो सब यही होते हैं। ये यहाँ का ये पूरा जो एरिया है ग्रीन पार्क सोसाइटी, इनके अंडर आता है। वो यहाँ का पूरा कचरा यही लेते हैं। तो उनकी यहाँ पे आप कितने बजे आते हो? ये सुबह 8 बजे आते हैं। 8 बजे से कितने बजे तक? 4 बजे तक काम करते हैं। लेकिन इनका जो कलेक्शन का टाइम है वो सुबह 8 से 10:30 11 बजे तक हो जाता है। उसके बाद वो ये क्यों रुकते हैं? तो ये सेग्रीगेशन करते हैं, मतलब प्लास्टिक अलग निकालते हैं, कागज़ अलग निकालते हैं, मेटल वाला जो भी रहेगा वो सेग्रीगेट करते हैं। जो भी रिसाइकलेबल मटेरियल है वो अलग से बेच सकते हैं, उनको पैसे मिल सकते हैं।
मतलब ये जो सेग्रीगेशन करके उनसे इनकम,
हाँ, इनकम मिलता है, क्योंकि ये उनकी स्ट्रेंथ है। क्योंकि ये करोगे तो उनको ज़्यादा पैसा मिलता है। क्योंकि और हमारा इनिशिएटिव भी यही है कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कचरा रिसाइकलिंग के लिए जाए, ना कि लैंडफिल हो जाए। ये हम पीएमसी ने 2006 में 7 में जो कुंडी थी, बाहर रस्तों पे कुंडियाँ रहती थी, उसमें कचरा डालते थे लोग, घर वाले सब लोग आते थे, उधर ही डालते थे।
2002
मध्ये हाँ 2002 में उन्होंने बंद कर दिया। उसके बाद भी थोड़े थोड़े रहते थे, लेकिन फिर उनका काम बंद हो गया ना। ये उस टाइम पे हर घर जाके नहीं लेते थे, तो कुंडी में लेके जाते थे। वो जब उठाते थे वही रिसाइकलेबल मटेरियल निकाल के बेचते थे, वही उनका इनकम सोर्स था। अगर पीएमसी ने कुंडी बंद कर दिया तो इनका इनकम सोर्स बंद हो रहा था। तो उस टाइम पे कागज़ का कस्टमर पंचायत के जो भी बॉडी मेंबर्स है, उन्होंने बोला कि अगर आप लोग कुंडी बंद करोगे तो हमें कहाँ से पैसा मिलेगा, कहाँ पे हमारा इनकम रहेगा। तो उस टाइम पे पीएमसी के साथ मिलकर स्वच्छ जो है संस्था कोऑपरेटिव, वो हमने बनाई। और उनके जो भी बॉडी मेंबर्स है सभी वेस्ट पिकर है। इसमें कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है कि जो बाहर का सिटीजन रहेगा, सभी वेस्ट पिकर ही है। तो उनके साथ स्वच्छ ये संस्था शुरू की कोऑपरेटिव। और उसके बाद जो भी घर डोर टू डोर जाके कलेक्शन करना होता है तो यही करते हैं। ये हर एक चीज़ के लिए झगड़ना पड़ता है इनको। पीपी किट के लिए झगड़ना पड़ता है, ड्रेस कोड के लिए झगड़ना पड़ता है, गाड़ी के लिए झगड़ना पड़ता है, बकेट्स के लिए झगड़ना पड़ता है, हर चीज़ के लिए झगड़ना पड़ता है।
तो मतलब आप यहाँ के जो नागरिक है, आप उन लोग भी बोलते हो कि आप लोग भी जो कचरा आपके आसपास इलाके में देखा तो आप भी उठा के इसको ठिकाना लगा देते अच्छी जगह पे। अवेयरनेस,
हाँ, अवेयरनेस तो हर वीकेंड वीकडेज में भी किया जाता है, हर एक वार्ड में होता है। अभी हम पुणे के एक वार्ड, मतलब औंध वार्ड में है। ऐसे ओवरऑल पुणे में 15 वार्ड है जो स्वच्छ कलेक्शन करता है हर जगह पे।
तो मतलब आप कहना चाहते हो कि आप सिटीजन्स को भी अवेयर करते हो?
यस,
कि
हाँ।
तो जब हम आ रहे थे तो ये रेजिलियंस सुपर मार्केट के वहाँ पे एक छोटा सा ढेर लगा हुआ है जहाँ पे कचरा है, आम फेंका गया है,
हाँ,
वो
हाँ।
सब। तो उसके बारे में
अभी कुछ सिटीजन को क्या रहता है, हम क्यों महीने को पैसे दें, हम ऐसे भी बाहर फेंक सकते हैं। तो ऐसे कुछ सिटीजन रहते हैं कि वो जाते जाते कचरा करते हैं, या फिर घर का कचरा कभी कभी अभी थोड़ा भी कचरा दिखेगा हमें भी अभी आप पता रहता है कि अरे इधर कचरा है, चल तो ठीक है, डाल दिया। ऐसे होता है अपना। तो ऐसे लोग बहुत हैं, उनको कम करना हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। तो आप देखो कि ये कलेक्शन कैसे करते हैं।
मतलब जैसे कि अभी वहाँ पे जैसे कैंप था जहाँ से इन्होंने कचरा उठाया, ऐसे ही हर एक जगह पे, मतलब हर सोसाइटी के बाहर ऐसे जगह होता होगा सर? हाँ, फीडर पॉइंट हर जगह पे होता है। अगर इसके अंदर अभी ये सोसाइटी है तो ये पूरी सोसाइटी का कचरा ये एक जगह पे लाते हैं। तो
अभी ये इनका डेली का है। ये अभी इनका कैसे रहता है, ये एक रूट उन्होंने ऑलरेडी कर चुके रहते हैं, मतलब सुबह आने का पहला ये वाला रूट करने का। जैसे हम देख सकते हैं कि एक रूट का कचरा शुरू किया तो लोगों को पता चलता है हर टाइम कि हमें कचरा अलग अलग। अभी देखो ये सेग्रीगेट कैसे करते हैं। 1 2 3 4 है, इसमें ये
वेट
वेट डालेंगे।
ड्राई
ड्राई वेस्ट है, ड्राई वेस्ट में भी जो भी रिसाइकलेबल जैसे गुटखा रहेगा, प्लास्टिक रहेगा, ये अलग
मिरर रहेगा, वो
सब अलग।
इसको भी
अलग अलग और एट ए टाइम डोर टू डोर कलेक्शन के टाइम पे ही कलेक्ट करते हैं। और जो ज़्यादा रहता है वो फीडर पॉइंट पे लेके जाके वहाँ पे सेग्रीगेट करते हैं अलग से। अभी एक देखो यहाँ पे एट ए टाइम ये कलेक्शन करते करते इन्होंने कितने क्या क्या चीज़ें निकाले, देखो प्लास्टिक, गुटखा, ओके, वेट वेस्ट, ये पूरा ड्राई वेस्ट है जो मिक्स रहेगा पूरा ऐसा।
और यहाँ
आज भी ये इसको हम MLP बोलेंगे, मल्टी लेयर प्लास्टिक। ये अलग से लेते हैं, रिसाइकल सारे चीज़ें रिसाइकलिंग के लिए जाते हैं।
क्या होता है मल्टी लेयर प्लास्टिक एग्जैक्टली?
मल्टी लेयर प्लास्टिक अभी जो भी है, हम जो सिस्टम करते हैं सोच के वेस्ट पेपर के लिए, हम इसका कलेक्शन करते हैं। जो ITC के साथ हमारा टाइप है, ये EPR सिस्टम के रिलेटेड, तो ये कलेक्शन एक साथ जमा करते हैं और वो ITC को या फिर कोई भी रिसाइकलिंग यूनिट हो या फिर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हो, उनको हम प्रोवाइड करते हैं। और यहाँ से वो जाके उसके प्लाउड बनाते हैं, जो हेवी प्लाउड रहते हैं वो बनाते हैं। प्लाउड मीन्स जैसे लकड़ी के बेंचेस बनाते हैं।
जैसा कि आपने कहा कि अभी मतलब ज़्यादातर सेग्रीगेटर्स जो हैं वो वुमेन्स हैं, तो आपकी वेबसाइट पे कहना था कि वहाँ पे अनटचेबिलिटीज जो दलित लोग होते हैं उनको भी आप ज़्यादातर अपॉर्चुनिटी।
यस। अभी मैंने बोला ना कि जब जो दुष्काल मतलब उस टाइम पे जो गिरा था, तो ज़्यादातर जो दलित समाज थे जो वही लोग इस तरफ आए, क्योंकि उनको कोई इनकम सोर्स नहीं था, ना खेती बाड़ी थी, कुछ नहीं था, तो उनको कोई इनकम सोर्स नहीं था। तो ज़्यादातर सोच में वही लोग हैं जो ये काम करते हैं। इसमें ये तो आपको पता होगा कि मीटिंग्स रहती है।
हाँ।
तो साल की एक मीटिंग रहती है, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ईयरली मीटिंग, मंथली मीटिंग और कोटी मीटिंग यहाँ पे रहते हैं। तो इनका मंथली एक मीटिंग रहता है जिसको हम बोलते हैं प्रतिनिधि मीटिंग। अभी यहाँ पे समझो 40 लोग हैं, 40 लोग तो प्रतिनिधि नहीं हो सकते, उनका एक लीडर हो सकता है। तो इनमें से एक प्रतिनिधि रहता है जो इनकी पूरी बातें सुनता है, कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम हो तो कोऑर्डिनेटर्स के साथ बात करते हैं और जो भी प्रॉब्लम हो सॉल्व करते हैं। तो मीटिंग में क्या होता है कि हर एक भाग में से मतलब जैसे कि आउंड वार्ड है, तो आउंड वार्ड में कुल 40 प्रभाग है, 40 प्रभाग, तो उसमें से 10 प्रतिनिधि रहते हैं। तो वो एक जगह पे यहाँ पे भवानीपेट में हमारा एक ऑफिस है, वहाँ पे बहुत बड़ा स्टेडियम है जो PMC का है, वहाँ पे हम मंथली मीटिंग रखते हैं। मंथली मीटिंग में हर महीने में क्या हमने
स्टेटस चेक किया जाता है,
स्टेटस चेक किया जाता है और कुछ डिसीजन लिए जाते हैं, तो वो सब एक जगह पे होता है। तो वहाँ वो जो मीटिंग होने के बाद डायरेक्टली जो प्रतिनिधि रहते हैं वो हर एक भाग में जाके उनके भाग में जाके कोटी मीटिंग लेते हैं, जैसे कि ग्रुप में मीटिंग लेते हैं इनके तो वहाँ पे जो भी चीज़ें हुई, बातें होते हैं, जो डिसीजन लिए जाते हैं, वो यहाँ पे आके वो बताते हैं।
छुट्टी बाद मिलेगा तो छुट्टी गिरेगा ना अभी अप्रैल में।
हाँ
अभी मई में।
चलो स्टार्ट करो।
अप्रैल में होता ना, देख ले। कोई बात करने को ऐसा मुँह पर रहते।
मतलब पहले आपको रोका जाता था।
हाँ, इधर आओ
मैं आपको कहना चाहूँगा,
हाँ?
आप जो भी काम कर रहे हो बहुत अच्छा कर रहे
हाँ,
हो। इससे हमारा पुणे भी और देश भी आगे बढ़ेगा।
आगे तो है देश,
बट
अपन
और आगे
करेंगे तो
बढ़ेगा।
आगे भाई,
हाँ,
नहीं करेंगे तो पीछे रहेगा ना।
इसमें कलेक्ट करते हैं, cloth, footwear, bags, purses, books, toys, cotton, mattress, e-waste and more. सारी चीज़ें एक साथ जमा करते हैं और हर वीक में एक ड्राइव रहते हैं हर एक एरिया में, तो वो सारा लोग वहाँ पे आके दे देते हैं, तो जो आगे रिसाइकलिंग और रीयूज़ के लिए दे सकते हैं। तो ये रीयूज़ और रिसाइकलिंग का एक पॉइंट है, सेंटर है, जहाँ पे सारी चीज़ें यहाँ पे जमा होती है, सेग्रीगेट किए जाते हैं। इसमें से जो भी चीज़ें रीयूजेबल है वो बेची जाती है यहाँ पे, फिर 25% ही उनसे कॉस्ट किया जाता है। अगर 100 रुपये की चीज़ हो तो सिर्फ 25 रुपये लेते हैं। तो ये जीन्स है, ये जीन्स मैंने यहाँ से खरीदी है सिर्फ 50 रुपये।
ये अंदर घुसने के बाद लग रहा है कि हम कहीं शोरूम में आ चुके हैं। बाहर से देखा तो इससे बोलते हैं डोंट जज अ बुक बाय इट्स कवर। किसी भी बुक को बाहर से देख के जज नहीं कर सकते।
राइट, बहुत
segregation करते हैं हम लोग, जो अच्छा है वही यहाँ पे रखते हैं और जो नहीं अच्छा, जो नहीं लेंगे लोग वो निकाल के रखते हैं या
और रिसाइकलिंग
के लिए बेचते हैं। उसमें से स्क्रैप भी बाजू में निकलता है, स्क्रैप वाले को स्क्रैप देते हैं और जो नहीं ये होता वो रिसाइकलिंग के लिए बेचते हैं। और जैसे व्हीकल एक ड्राइव पूरे पुणे में होता है ना, वैसे कुछ लोग हैं ना जिनको व्हीकल एक ड्राइव में जाके सामान देने को नहीं मिला, वो यहाँ पे आके डोनेट करते हैं, खुद लेके आते हैं सामान और यहाँ पे आके डोनेट करते हैं।
मतलब अगर वो कुछ देते हैं तो आप उन्हें मतलब रिस्पॉन्स आपको पैसे
नहीं, पैसे नहीं देते,
ये मर्जी से
डोनेट करते हैं वो।
ये सर डोनेट, हम उसको डोनेट नहीं बोल सकते, हम उनको बोलते हैं कि ये रीयूज और रिसाइकलिंग चेन में पार्टिसिपेट हो रहे हैं। उन्होंने लाके दिए, वो बोले कि आप लोगों को दो और जो भी फंड होगा वो स्पीकर के बच्चों को दिया जाएगा, उसके एजुकेशन के लिए यूज किया जाएगा।
Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast series episode 4, Changemakers. We are with Mukta Didi from SWaCH. Hello everyone, myself Rishu.
Myself Yash.
myself Parvati Tai.
So Mukta Didi, our first part is about SWaCH. So our first question is, why did you choose to start SWaCH? There is already PMC who collects garbages. Then why did you choose to start SWaCH?
So before I talk about SWaCH, there is complicated history to the formation of this organization. So I would like you all to take back to the decade 1970, right? So there was a serious drought in 1970s in Maharashtra. So this drought kind of triggered a huge, massive scale migration from rural areas, from towns to cities. So this most of the migrated population was from marginalized communities, right? So they didn't have any capital, they didn't have proper education, so they couldn't find any jobs or start their own business, but they wanted to do some work with dignity, right? So they chose to just pick up waste and make their living out of it, right? So in 1990s, Lakshmi Narayan and Purnima Chikarmani, so they were working with adult education program in SMD college in Pune. So they observed that some women are reluctant to join the meetings. They have some issues, they are unable to communicate. So they kind of followed them, they were curious, and they realized that these are women from marginalized communities and they are picking waste to make their living. So they literally followed them, Lakshmi Tai and Purnima Tai, along with some activists. So they started traveling with waste pickers to understand their problems. So while traveling with them, they realized that waste pickers are looked down upon in society. So police, citizens, they were kind of harassing them. So Lakshmi Tai and Purnima Tai, they and activists, so they started talking to waste pickers and they said that let's form an union so that we can come together and work on these issues, right? So in 1993, Kagad Patra Kashtakrit Panchayat Union was formed. So this union is India's largest union of waste pickers. So from 1993, the KKP and PMC, the Pune Municipal Corporation, they started having
What
this
is KK?
Kagat Kaach Pandra Kashtapati Panchayat. It's waste pickers union. Okay, so from 1993, KKP and PMC, Pune Municipal Corporation, they started having these dialogues that why not integrate waste pickers in the solid waste management system of Pune, right? So why not let waste pickers go to every doorstep and collect waste instead of getting into the big container and retrieving recyclables. So this led to formation of SWaCH, right? So SWaCH was formed. So as you know, SWaCH is India's largest wholly owned cooperative of self-employed waste pickers.
Thank you, Didi, for the background history and information about it. Now we are excited to know about why did you choose to start.
Right. So once waste picker started working with citizens, right? So this is user fee based model. Okay. So how we pay our newspaper, how we have our newspaper subscription or milk subscription, right?
Yes.
So we pay monthly user fee to the service providers. So similarly, citizens provide monthly user fees to waste pickers for exchange of their service, right? So since this is a user fee based model, Pune Municipal Corporation doesn't have to pay salaries to waste pickers. Also, waste pickers collect their waste with push carts. You must have seen the Parvati Tai with push cart, right?
Yeah.
So push cart saves a lot of fuel consumption.
Yes.
So if we add all the expenses, because of SWaCH, PMC saves around 21 crores of rupees every year. So that's a huge amount, right? So that's why SWaCH also, when citizens or the city, Pune Municipal Corporation, that is urban local body, work with waste pickers, it also helps, stitching social fabric of the city. It's inclusive model. So that's why SWaCH.
So, do you think such organization is required in every part of India?
Absolutely. It would be great if every city, every village has waste pickers union and citizens and waste pickers working for sustainable waste management.
But the thing which is happening with this garbage collector because they are getting 85 rupees from per month
Right.
from one house.
Right.
So that is very less in compared to government jobs. Means who are from government, which are from PMC collect garbages, they get more money compared to the SWaCH members.
Okay, so waste pickers, they have two sources of income. Right? So first is monthly user fee and second is from selling the scrap.
Yeah.
So whatever the scrap they collect, for example, the names of scrap material lies in the name of union. Kagad, Kaach, Patra, Kashtapati Panchayat. So Kagad is paper, Kaach is glass, Patra is metal, and plastic. So these are some of the recyclables. So they retrieve them from collection and then they sell it to the scrap shops. So you have monthly user fee, you have scrap sale. So these are the two income sources, and you would be surprised to know that SWaCH waste pickers earn more than minimum wage. Yeah.
I would like to ask you that what impact do you think SWaCH will create in the next 10 years?
Right. So if you look at last decade, Pune city has already marched towards zero waste, right? So in the next year, in the next decade, we can see Pune city becoming a zero waste city under leadership of waste pickers.
So, as in 2008, Pune got an award of that Green City. So, is there any hard work of SWaCH in that,
Yes.
making this possible?
Yes. So we have waste pickers coming from informal recycling sector. We have scrap shops. We have citizens. We have administration of PMC local body. We have so many organizations working towards the same goal of sustainability and better environment. So this is the collective effort. Yes.
Okay, so my next question is why there is a red dot?
Right, right. So Red Dot is a unique initiative. It's an awareness initiative for citizens, right? So Procter and Gamble, we have kind of we work with them for this awareness campaign. So in Italy, they have set up a mechanical recycling unit for sanitary waste, right? So sanitary waste is any kind of waste which has human bodily fluid, right? So they have set up this mechanical recycling unit in Italy, and next is going to be in Pune. But for that, citizens need to segregate their sanitary waste from dry waste from wet waste. So we encourage citizens to put a distinct red dot on it on the sanitary waste. So we ask them to wrap their sanitary waste in a paper and put a red dot on it. So it's a signal for waste handlers like waste pickers that I shouldn't open it. So the red dot indicates it's like a dot of dignity and safety.
So Didi, my next question is, how does this job impact their health, and do they have any healthcare facilities? Because as we saw when we were coming here, we saw that Parvati Didi was uh, handling waste, and that the dust was coming from that can impact her health. So is there any
Right,
health?
right. So yes, it does impact their health. Uh, so this job is itself is vulnerable to all kind of pollution, air pollution, water pollution. So we have training programs. PMC provides PPE kits, right? Masks, sanitizers,
Yeah.
and hand gloves to waste pickers. So we have training programs where we it's like twofold training programs. So first is for citizens. We teach them, we train them how to handle their waste, and second is for waste pickers, that how to take care of themselves while handling the waste. So if citizens handle their waste, they dispose their waste properly, the risk factor, it decreases. Yes. And second question is, probably PMC is one of the first urban local body which has truly integrated waste pickers in their system. So they have social security schemes like health insurance for waste pickers. So we have other, we as in PMC has other social security, social welfare schemes as well for their children's education. Basically.
Okay, so as we see in Delhi, that landfills are reducing because legacy waste is being incinerated for industries. The target is to do before the September, because in September the G20 will summit, and for a good image of India they are doing now. But why they have not take this step before the G20?
Right. So, if we think that waste problems begins in the landfill, it's not correct. Waste problem begins in our homes, where we create the waste, where we generate the waste, right? So, due to lack of awareness, due to lack of political will, unfortunately, Delhi had to face such situation because landfill is a result of something, right? So it's really unfortunate and sad that it's happening. But if we want to really work on the issue, we have to work on the waste generation, we have to work on the waste handling, waste disposal, and then waste management.
So do you think there is a lack of political motivation to do general welfare and focus only on show off?
uh, I'm not in a position to answer this, but yes, it's a problem, and all these unions and citizens only we can kind of move this narrative that uh, all these false solutions, incineration, open burning, open dumping, we have to work towards zero waste goal collectively. So it's not just lack of political will, it's also ignorance of citizens and lack of proper systems from administration.
Yes.
So Didi, we will move towards our next section, which is student leaders. So my question is, what role do you think the youngsters, means the who are students nowadays,
Right.
today can help our city to be clean?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that zero waste.
Right. Right. So we see a lot of students, lot of environmental activists getting into cleanup drives, right? So that's a great step towards cleanliness, and it's great to kind of get everyone on board and actually put into your labor and clean the area. But as students, as future of India, you need to think beyond visual cleanliness. We also need to think that what will happen to this collection, whatever we have cleaned, what will happen next. So, I expect student leaders to think beyond visual cleanliness, to include the informal recycling sector. We should always think that how this my work will benefit the waste pickers who are the frontliners of this environment.
So how can you motivate the youngsters of today
Yes.
to do the things like this?
So I would say you can start with small habits which will lead to bigger change, right? So basic, like you have to segregate your waste properly. You have to motivate other people. So motivate your family, motivate your community, your other friends, family to segregate their waste properly. You learn it first and then you educate others. You can participate in waste picker led initiatives. For example, we collected, you saw how people are donating. You can organize such drives, like you can, a couple of friends, you can get together, you can spread awareness, you can plan a point where people can come and donate, and you can carry on these activities.
Thank you, Didi. That was a lovely thing, and we will try to do it.
We address that garbage collector going foreign and getting respect there. But do you think if they are getting respect in India? If not, then why?
Right. So that's a lovely question. So if you ask waste pickers this question, that what do you do a few decades back, they would answer nothing. So they themselves didn't respect their work, right? But now they are so proud of themselves with so much of hard work and resilience. They have transformed their lives. Okay, so now if you ask them, they will. You saw what
Yes.
it is.
We saw that.
Right. So yes, SWaCH waste pickers have traveled to so many countries abroad, right? But unfortunately, in India, they don't really get that recognition. They are ignored, they are invisible yet so important for our society, for our city, for our environment. So, how do we get that respect for waste pickers? First is to empower them. Okay, first step is to make them respect themselves. I think we have achieved that at least in Pune. Second step is like taking from their work the impact, their importance. We should make people aware about that, their contribution to the society, right, and to the environment. We are talking about climate action, but waste pickers have been into climate action since ages. Right? You will be surprised that 1% of global population is waste pickers. So if we don't respect 1% of population, how will we respect others, right?
So now we are going to move on to our next section called Never Have I Ever. Here I will ask you some questions, and if you are agreed, you can show me a thumbs up, and if you are not, you can show me thumbs down. So, never have I ever learned more from the people who came for the cleanliness walk than I have taught them.
No, I disagree because people are usually overwhelmed to see the quantity of waste generated from every household. They are inspired to see waste pickers work, waste pickers contribution. They are moved by their stories. So usually, people who come into the walk are like they are always observing and learning.
Okay. So, never have I ever felt that the garbage collector had become more empowered because of SWaCH.
Yes.
Can you explain it a bit?
So the union, the collective gives that strength, gives that voice to every individual.
Okay.
Never have I ever imagined in my childhood that I would be working in this sector.
Yes, I never imagined. I used to work. So I used to work in entertainment industry, and then there was no job satisfaction there, so I shifted to this.
So, never have I ever questioned the impact SWaCH is creating. Like you have doubt yourself. You have
I
doubt.
never doubted SWaCH's impact. So, if you see one successful waste picker, independent, fiercely independent waste picker, that's the answer to the impact.
So, never have I ever thought of working in other area of environmentalism.
Mm,
Means
No,
why only
right.
garbage? There is other
Right.
thing in environment.
Environmental.
right.
Other
right.
works to do in
Right.
environment.
So,
In our surroundings.
yes, so it's a thumbs up because waste itself is a taboo, right?
Yeah.
But waste is all inclusive. It doesn't discriminate. We all create.
Yes.
Yes.
So I would like to be part of that organization which is working towards this problem.
It was lovely, Devi.
So, Didi, we are moving to our next game, two truths and one lie.
Okay.
So, you will be giving us three information about SWaCH. There will be two truth and one lie, and
Okay.
one of them is identify which is wrong.
Okay, fine. 70% of SWaCH waste pickers are women. This is one statement. SWaCH covers 70% of Pune. SWaCH is India's first wholly owned cooperative of self-employed
Can I guess?
So,
Yes,
The
yes.
first one that you said that 70% is women.
so I will go with the third
Third
because
is,
First.
India's first
so is it a truth or
lie.
third is lie?
Yes.
That's correct. So it's not the first,
Yes.
it's the largest organization. First is
Recently,
right. So first is Stree Mukti Sangatana from Mumbai.
Ready?
So, round two of two truth and one lie.
So in Pune we have achieved 100% waste segregation. Second statement is SWaCH waste pickers divert 200 metric tons of waste every day. third is PMC saves 21 crores rupees every year because of SWaCH.
Can I?
Yes.
The first one is
First one.
lie.
That's
And
right.
last was
Absolutely. We have achieved 95% of segregation.
yeah, because still we see that people
Right,
are
right.
that was easy. So Didi, we will move to our next section, next game, rapid fire, and I'm really excited for it. The instructions are very simple. I will read a statement out, and you have to answer it in a word or
Okay.
phrase or 2-3 sentences, and you have to be
Alright.
very quick. Okay.
Okay.
So my the first one is the book you would suggest to someone.
So it's a recently published book called On the Ground. So it's a collection of stories of waste pickers across Asia. It's written by Sharma Vanessa. Yes.
Okay. So the next one is the code you follow in your life.
Code I follow in my life. So there are so many things, but code is never give up.
Never give up. Why?
It's like you have to try your best to get it on. Never give up. Something or the other thing will turn up.
That's amazing. So next one is a change in your mindset after working for SWaCH.
So when I saw a big out of list at transfer station, it was really disturbing and I immediately switched to low waste.
So would you recommend it to other someone else?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So, headline you want to see on newspaper made by SWaCH, and what it will be?
Headline would be
Headline you
Pune,
want.
yes, Pune is now a zero waste city under waste picker leadership.
One tip for your youngsters watching you.
Oh, just focus on segregating your waste perfectly. That would be awesome.
So, movie that has inspired you a lot.
I recently watched this Elephant Whisperers.
Awesome.
Yes, it's a Oscar award-winning film. So it inspired people in so many ways that we take environment, animals, everything, nature so granted. So like we should always remember that. So I have some questions for you. First question is, what moved you today when you were on the recycling train?
The hard work taken by Parvati Didi.
Not
Situation
just-
she is facing that
Right.
her husband has passed away before 3 months.
Yes. And it inspired me a lot, and he was working then also he was the smile that he had in his face inspired me a lot the most.
Wow.
We have some photos that will be the all-time favorite memory for me.
Wow. Second question is, what would be the first step for you towards waste management?
Segregating to
Perfect. Third question is, how would you inspire your friends and your family to get included in this?
So
By-
firstly it will start from us, and then
Absolutely.
after that we will first we request them that please don't do the
Right.
mix
Mixing.
on
Right.
thing and segregate them.
I'll be sharing, I'll be inspired, I'm gonna inspire them by sharing in with this podcast.
That's great.
You may say that the video of Parvati Didi that they're facing challenges and what they are doing now and then.
That's great. That's all. Thank you. Thank you for this great interaction.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The trap, na?
क्योंकि I read that it is first self-employed, so that's why.
You got trapped, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, you said that
Right.
Didi was thinking in the last one more.
Right.
I am
Wait. Was that the reason you had to think?
Huh?
Was that the reason you had to think because you were thinking of the
because
false statement?
Yeah.
70%
Finding
women.
lie is difficult.
हाँ तो ले लेना।
मैंने काट लिया.
थोड़ी देर और चलते हैं.
ये ब्लू भी लिया है ब्लू लिया है।
Come here. Come here, Aditya.
यो यो
Will she come here? But अभी put this on.
बिल्डिंग वाला लगेगा मेरे को।
No, no. Huh? You want panka? I'll give you also one.
अरे गैस 2 कप लेना ना 2 कप लेना।
Huh? This is good. If it fits you.
2 साइड।
Wear this.
देखो ये मैं ले लेता हूँ। ये बट क्या देखो ना ब्लू ही कलर।
It's a color.
कलर है वही तो ब्लू है।